Hello people of this world. So I just recently got home from a road trip, I guess you'd call it. I left on the 20th of July, no, June, right? Yeah, okay. And I came back a little too early, but hey, I'm back.
California dreaming about you.
I need to tell you guys so much things. I know I'm gonna have to break this. I know I'm gonna have to break this into different videos because I don't want it to be a long video. But let's get started with the first thing that comes to my head. So I took a flight to Kansas City and I was there for 4 days. Then actually went to Kansas, then Oklahoma, then New Mexico, if that's correct. And then I'm back in Cali. So I was in the corner of Kansas and Oklahoma, and I guess you can't have tinted windows. It's illegal, I guess, to have tinted windows, and I didn't know that. But we got pulled over because of that, and I was, okay, first of all, it's hella hot in Oklahoma. It's like 103, like when I was over there, and I was wearing sweatpants and a normal t-shirt, but I was still sweating with the t-shirt. And I ended up taking off my sweats up, and I thought it was okay because I had bikini bottom on. And we were like on a you know those dirt roads that just keep on going and going and going, so you go like 65, 70, and then all of a sudden it pulls up into like a small town, and then it goes straight to 70 to 35, so we like had to like kind of push on the brakes a little bit. And then also there was a cop, so that happened. We go like 3 blocks down without no problem, and then out of nowhere he comes through. And also I'm bringing back a couple marijuana plants from where I was coming from, and they're all illegal on that side of America, so unless it's like CBD or like other stuff. But yeah, we ended up getting pulled over, and I ended up like covering them, but I feel like he could see me through the window even though they're tinted. And he comes through and he's all like asking for the driver's ID. So he gets his ID, and his ID says a different state from where we're at and where we're going, and etc. And he asked me where I'm from. I said California, like I'm from there. And he's like, are you, and he kept asking this question, were you covering a baby back there? Is there a baby back there? Like insisting like we had a baby back there. And I'm like, no. I'm like, my luggage was just falling, so I was throwing it back up on the seat. And he's like, can you open the door so I could look? And I'm like, for what? And he's like, if there's a baby back there. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like trying to still cover the plants so like they're not like noticeable. And he like tries opening it, and I'm like, it's locked. So it's like, can you unlock it? And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? I'm like, I'm just trying to grab my luggage so it won't fall out the door when you open it. And I literally was just trying to cover the plants. But he opens the door and he moves stuff around. He moves things around. And right now the driver's in the cop car. He's a person that kind of panics, and like he's a panicky person. He freaks out a little bit, and the cop already talked to him, telling him that it's gonna be okay. But you know, when a cop tells you that, it's usually not gonna be okay. But he searches the back of the car, he finds the plants, and he randomly gets this bag that's compact clothes. So like there's like, you know, those bags that you use to travel, so there's more room. So yeah, one of those. And he gets all the, we had 3 of them, so he gets all of them, he puts them on the back of the car, on the trunk part, and he's all like touching, because we had them in bags and they were soiled up, and he's all like touching everything, and he like finds that bag I was telling you, and he opens it, and I'm like, oh, now there's gonna be air in the bag. So I'm like, whatever. And actually, he opens the bag, he's like, what's this? And I'm like, I think it's I'm like, no, I told him straight out, I'm like, it's a blanket. And he's like, he opens it, they're fucking towels. I'm like, oh, I didn't know. I'm all like, it's not mine. And he opens it, and he's like, what are they for? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, they're not mine. And he like reaches in, grabs everything and searches it. Like, there's just like a lot of like towels. And then he like pushes like the weed to the side, like the plants, and they're not even planted yet, like they're not budded or anything, they're just like plants, straight out plants. And I see the driver in the cop car, and I look at him, and I'm like, ugh, like giving him looks. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to him because he's freaking out. And I'm like, okay. And then he comes back to me, he's like, so what do you guys have these for? He's like, you know they're illegal here, right? I'm like, I've never been to Kansas, I've never been anywhere here around here, but yeah, I heard. Well, now I'm like, but now I know. But I'm like, but they weren't for this location, you know, they're for California, and I have a card anyways. And he's like, so you just plant your weed? And I'm like, well, I'm like, I used my actual thing that I'm kind of using it for. I'm like, I use the CBD off the leaves for my seizures, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'm like, sometimes I make tea off of them, sometimes I just put them in food or something. Like, I was just trying to make it like an excuse to get out of there. He's like, okay. He's all like, do you make oils or anything? And I'm like, because I had a friend, and like he told me about like another story about one of his friends that would use them and put it on his hand or something. And I'm like, oh, like I'm getting to that point where I'm learning how to make oils. And he's like, oh, that's so cool, and like telling me about that. And he's like, yeah, my niece recently got diagnosed with that and stuff. And I'm like, dang, that sucks, because when I was diagnosed with it, it was like horrible, and it was just the worst thing to hear from a doctor saying that you're starting to get seizures. So that happened, and before all of that, I had no pants on, and he looked at me and like, I could see it with my legs, and I was like, he's like, can you get off the car? And I'm like, can I put my pants back on? He looks at me, he's like, oh, and he kind of got like awkward. He walks away kind of towards like his car, and I'm like putting him on. He's like, of course if you can. And I'm like, yep. I'm like, it's just really hot over here, and I'm like, I took off my pants. So yeah, he's like, yeah, that's one way you can do it. And I was like, it was like a laugh after, but he was a really chill cop. Like, I've never talked to a cop that I like, and I probably never will again, but this cop was chill. He let us keep our plants. He didn't say much, ask much, give us a ticket or anything. He gave us like a warning thing, but it wasn't a price one, like, you know. And yeah, that was one thing that happened out of like 5 other ones, and you'll be hearing those in the next couple videos. But yeah, that's why I haven't been around. I've been out and about. But yo, that was horrible. Just the feeling of getting pulled over and having plants in an illegal state is not the best feeling. Yeah. And also having no pants in front of a cop is probably weird. I don't know, I didn't really trip about it. It's just when he asked me to get up, I'm all like, let me put my clothes back on. And yeah, so be smart, watch what state you're in if you're gonna do some stupid shit. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later about other shit that happened that I'm pretty sure will be interesting to you guys, because I mean, me thinking about it, me repeating myself about it, like telling the story to other people, is really interesting. But there's that. And yep, have a good day, have a good night. I'm in my evening part of my day, and peace.